गुड इवनिंग, जय हिंद। कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग? गुड इवनिंग, जय हिंद। कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग? आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू आर डूइंग वेल। गुड इवनिंग। Okay, so I hope all of you are doing well. Okay, so last day, in the last session, we were discussing about this one important topic of the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Then after we have also discussed about the UNESCO World Heritage Sites also, okay, and some of the mains related topic also at the same time. We have also discussed about this, the participation of women in the voting process, in the electoral process. So these were the topics which we have discussed in the previous session. Now, in the present session, in today's session, the topics which we are going to discuss, the first one is El Niño or La Niña. Okay, that right now there is a suspense. Right now there is a suspense that this year whether it is going to be El Niño situation or La Niña situation. So we have discussed this multiple times, but then again, this is one of the most crucial topic for the Indian monsoon. So we are going to see it once again. Second topic which we are going to discuss is about the Apar ID. Now the students have got this Apar ID also, and throughout the country there is a same thing like we have for Aadhaar card and others, a revolution like thing which is going on. The students are registering themselves for this Apar ID. So we will try to understand what is this Apar ID, why it has been brought, and then what are the concerns with respect to this. Then the next thing which we are going to talk about is UAVs, unmanned air vehicles, simply drones. So now there is a comparison that are the drones a better alternative to the fighter jets or not. If we compare them with the fighter jets, what are better? Is it the drones which are better, or can we say that this UAVs are much more better? So we will see that comparison of the unmanned air vehicles, unmanned aerial vehicles or drones. Okay. And then we are going to talk about this one thing, squad. So this is one of the evolving topic of the geopolitics, a squad. So what is this a squad and what is the context, that also we are going to discuss. But before we go into that, let us revise some questions. Let us revise some topics. The first one, how many of the following are recognized as World Heritage Sites in India by UNESCO? So that is the first question. Options are Dholavira city, Shantiniketan, Western Ghats and Jaipur city. So question here is, how many of them are being recognized as World Heritage Sites? How many of them have been recognized as World Heritage Sites by UNESCO? That is the question. Science and technology की class कब start होगी? See, the class is going to start very soon. The class is going to start very soon. I think right now history is going on. So after the completion of history, I think we are going to start with science and technology and then environment. I have told you earlier also, in the crash course, we are starting with science and technology in April month. Okay. Here D option, D for direction. Okay. Anything else? A option also, C option also, B option also. Okay. So this is one of the very important thing. In 2024 prelims also you have got a question that which of them have been added in UNESCO World Heritage Site recently. Now, last day we have seen that Shantiniketan is of course one of the important sites which has been added recently. In the past, we have seen West Dholavira city. Dholavira city, which is a Harappan city, it has also been added. Then we have also this Western Ghat, a natural site, which has been added as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Then we have this Jaipur city, it has also been included as part of World Heritage Site. So we have Jaipur city, Ahmedabad city also. So historic city of Ahmedabad or city of Jaipur, they are also World Heritage Sites recognized by UNESCO in India. So here the answer is D option, all four. Consider the following statement. The Indian Constitution provides freedom of speech and expression to all the people within Indian territory. Freedom of speech is not an absolute right. Which of the statement given above are correct? About the foundation classes, Ashutosh, I have informed the team about it, that the students were asking for this science and tech. So they will start it as soon as possible. Okay. Reasoning classes. Okay. For science and tech, I have informed the team. For CSET, I have already said to the team. Okay, question number 2. What will be the answer? B option, C option. I think this is one very easy question, straightforward statement. I think all of you can give this, answer this question correctly. C option, B option, A option. Okay. Now, if we talk about this, now look at this one question. Freedom of speech is not an absolute right. This is correct. Freedom of speech is not an absolute right. Hence, the second statement is correct. Now, coming to the first one, the Indian Constitution provides freedom of speech and expression to all the people. Here it is not all the people, to all the citizens of India. It is not available to the aliens or the foreigners within. Aliens means the foreigners within the nation. It is available only to the citizens. Here it is written to all the people. It is not to all the people, it is to all the citizens of India. So this first statement here is incorrect. Second one is only correct. Hence the answer is option number B. Okay. So here the answer is option number B. Freedom of speech and expression is not an absolute right. It is subject to the various subject to various reasonable restrictions. Now, in the first case also, it is not available to all the people. It is available to the citizens of India. Okay. So here the answer is B option. Now, consider the following pairs. Habeas corpus issued when a person is detained unlawfully. Mandamus issued to direct a lower court or authority to perform its duty. Quo warranto issued to declare a law or action unconstitutional. So what is correct here? Question number 3. I think all of you have gone through polity. You may have revised it. Last day we have seen the different type of jurisdiction. Under that there is a writ jurisdiction. So as part of writ jurisdiction, there are 5 things: prohibition, statutory, then we have mandamus, quo warranto, and habeas corpus. So what will be correct here? Question number 3. Question number 3. Okay, A also option, B also option, C also option. See, if we look at this, quo warranto means it is not about to declare a law or action unconstitutional. It is about prohibiting a person to do anything. Okay. Quo warranto means what is your authority? Quo warranto simply means that what's your authority? So it is simply there to prevent a office, to prevent a public office from doing certain things. So it is like a prohibition. So this third option is incorrect. Mandamus is we command. Mandamus is simply we command. So here there is a command to direct a lower court or an authority to perform its duty. So that is called as mandamus. And habeas corpus, it is simple, to produce someone who has been detained illegally. Okay. So first and second is correct. Mandamus means we command. So here the command is there from a higher court like Supreme Court to a lower court to perform its duty, or to a public authority also to perform its duty. So that is called as mandamus. And quo warranto is to prohibit someone from doing a particular work. Okay. So this second option is correct. First one is correct. Third is incorrect. So answer is option number B. Okay. Now, so we are starting with this one topic, El Nino. Okay. Mandamus, certiorari means simply to certify, and mandamus means we command. If you remember this part, there is a command in case of mandamus, that we command you to perform a particular duty, that is mandamus. Certiorari means to certify something, that whether it will be a part of the lower court jurisdiction or part of higher court jurisdiction. So that is called as certiorari. So certiorari is to certify whether it is under the jurisdiction of a particular court or not. And prohibition is to prohibit a court from passing a judgment on certain thing. Okay. There is quo warranto also, which is to again stop certain public authorities to do a particular type of work. So that is called as quo warranto. Okay. So mandamus means we command. So now we have this one topic. So here what is the condition? That we are having no such idea that in this year whether this is going to be a El Nino year or a La Nina year. So that is one of the challenge which is there with the scientists and the meteorological departments right now. Okay. So what we see that no clarity, there is no clarity over formation of El Nino or La Nina till now. That whether we will have El Nino or La Nina, so there is a confusion that whether we are going to have El Nino or La Nina. So now let us try to understand that what exactly is this El Nino or La Nina. So if we look at this, just look at this image. This is our Pacific Ocean. This is our Pacific Ocean. Here we are having Australia. This is the portion of Australia. And here we have South America. Here we have South America. Here we have Australia. So in normal days, in normal condition, what happens that the warm ocean currents gets accumulated at this area. This is the accumulation of warm current. This is the accumulation of warm current. This is also the direction of trade winds. Here we see that this is also the direction of trade winds. This is also the direction of equatorial current. So this is the normal condition, and this normal condition is what we call as La Nina. The normal condition is what we call as La Nina. So when there is a warmer surface temperature near this Australian region, this is what we call as La Nina year. And when there is this opposite flow, when there is warm current near this South American coast, and here we have relatively less warmer current or cooler current, so that is what we call as El Nino condition. Here we see that there is deposition of warm water over here. There is warm water over here, and here on this side we have relatively cooler water. So this condition is what we call as El Nino. So El Nino and La Nina, they are changing, and there is no such one fixed frequency, but generally 2-3 years or 4-5 years they keep on changing. Sometimes they are changing even within a few years. So this is one thing which we see about El Nino or La Nina. But there is one more part. Like, what is the exact condition or how much temperature difference is there? How much temperature difference is there? See, there is an average sea surface temperature. Here, if we talk about this, how we determine this? How do we determine this part? Okay. How we determine this El Nino and La Nina? How we do that? Suppose there is an average surface temperature. There is an average surface temperature of this tropical Pacific Ocean of 30 years. Okay. Now, this is not about like we have a one fixed value, because it will change from month to month. This is going to change from month to month, so we don't have to give a certain fixed value. But suppose that there is an average surface temperature of per month or per like unit time. There is an average of last 30 years. If there is 0.5 degrees Celsius more temperature, like suppose if temperature is 0.5 degrees Celsius above sea surface temperature, if it is just 0.5 degrees Celsius above the sea surface temperature, this is what we call as La Nina. And if temperature is below 0.5 degrees Celsius, means if temperature is just like less below 0.5, if temperature is 0.5 below SST, sea surface temperature, so this is what we call as El Nino. Like, just for an example, if the sea surface temperature is 25 degrees Celsius on an average, and if the sea surface temperature becomes 25.5 degrees Celsius, it will be called as a La Nina year. And if the temperature becomes 24.5 degrees Celsius, it will be called as El Nino year. So from here you can understand what is the relevance of 0.5 degrees Celsius. If it is positive 0.5, it is a La Nina. And if it is minus 0.5, then the normal sea surface temperature, it will be a El Nino year. So it is like simply one thing. El Nino is not very cool water. El Nino is just 0.5 degree less than the average temperature. And La Nina is just 0.5 degree above the average temperature. That is the only difference between El Nino and La Nina. That is the only difference. Okay. So, and now due to this temperature difference, there is a significant impact. Okay. Suppose that if we have got El Nino, so what we see that less rainfall in India. If we have got El Nino, we get less rainfall in India, and there may be drought-like condition. Now, if there is El Nino, if suppose there is La Nina, then we see that heavy rainfall, but also harsh winter. What we also see that there is also harsh winter. So tell me, in 2024-25, did we have a harsh winter, or is what have we got a normal winter or like warmer winter? So what was the condition last year? Okay, Ashutosh, I will explain that at the end. At the end of the session, ask me this question once again. That what is this special leave petition? I will explain that. Okay. Now, here just this one part. in 2024-25, like from December to Feb, did we have a harsh winter, or is have we got this moderate winter this time? We have got this warmer one. Okay, we have seen that this year it was a warm winter. There was not too much of cold wave. In fact, the winter season was only for 1 or 2 days. Apart from that, there was no winter this time. Okay, so there is no such winter this. There was no such winter this year. It was only hardly for 1 or 2 days. Apart from that, there was no winter. Okay, so that is the condition. Like La Nina was not getting formed. La Nina was not getting formed. Okay. So what we see that even now it is not clear that whether it is going to be La Nina or El Nino or a mix of it. Okay. So IMD is also not having this clarity that whether we will have good rainfall or not. Okay. And this rainfall has a significant impact on the Indian agriculture industry and each and every aspect. Okay. So there is this one question for you. Why monsoon is considered as a unifying factor in India? Why monsoon is considered as a unifying factor in India? So this is one question for you. Think about this, and then after the sessions you can answer me this question, that why monsoon is considered as a unifying factor in India. Okay. So this is one of the first topic. What is El Nino, La Nina, in what condition they develop, and if they develop, what is the fallout of it? If there is El Nino, what is the impact there? If there is La Nina, then what will be the impact? Okay. Now, coming to the next topic. So the next topic is about Apar ID. The next topic is about this Apar ID, and there is too much of debate right now about this, that whether it is mandatory or not. Apar stands for Automated Permanent Academic Account Registry. Okay. Automated, it is Automated Permanent Academic Account Registry. So this Apar ID is basically Automated Permanent Academic Account Registry. When National Education Policy was announced in 2020, there was one name which was given, that we will have one nation, one student ID card. Like on this same philosophy, like one nation, one tax, one nation, one election, in the same manner, on the same basis, we are also going to have this one more thing, one nation, one student ID. Okay. Now, what is the main part here? Why we are having this? Why we are having this Apar ID? What is the benefit? What is the benefit? So, what is the benefit of this Apar ID? Government says that it will allow the students to easily access and verify their educational details. Means they will get educational details, access to educational details. Means all their data and each and everything will be there as part of the Apar ID. Okay. This will support various processes. Like right now, when you were filling the UPSC form, you may have gone through a number of challenges, that you have to fill your 10th class certificate, 12th class certificate, this certificate, that certificate. There were a number of certificates and a number of challenges which were there in the UPSC form. Okay. So in the same manner, there are other examination forms and they are also having challenges. So it is going to support processes support processes like entrance exam, job interview, scholarship, etc. So means in all these things, it is going to help the students. Okay. This is also going to help the government. Government will get the data, and on the basis of this, policy formulation will be easier for the government. Okay. E.g. policy formulation for government. E.g. policy formulation for government. Like suppose if government gets this data that okay, in India we are having around 1 lakh students who have got vocational education, or they have got this AI related education in their class 10th, 12th or in colleges. If government is having this data that we have got 1 lakh students, they have gone through AI based training, or they have gone through some medical training or some other sort of training. So government will also have this data. So that is considered as one of the benefit of this scheme, that we are going to get all these benefits due to this Apar ID. Okay. Now the question is, these are the benefits, but there is a debate. The debate is it mandatory for the students? Is it mandatory for the students? Okay. So this is the second part, that is this Apar ID mandatory for the students or not? Is it compulsory for all the students and everyone to get this Apar ID or not? Now officially, if you look at officially it is no. Officially it is no. But then there are examination boards at the central level, at the state level, and the schools. We have seen that we have got examination boards. We have got examination board and schools. They are forcing the students. They are forcing the students, or giving no choice. It is same like there was a time when it was said that Aadhaar card is mandatory for your bank accounts. There was a time when it was declared that Aadhaar card is mandatory for your bank accounts. Aadhaar card is also mandatory for getting a new SIM card or anything. So government announced that okay, it is mandatory now. Later on, Supreme Court said that no, it is not mandatory. But by the time Supreme Court is saying that it is not mandatory, most of the people have automatically gone for registration of Aadhaar card with the bank or with the service provider. So what we see that once there is an announcement, there is not even this disclosure that Apar ID is not mandatory, not for the school, not for the board, not for the students, not for the parents. It is an optional thing. If students wants to avail it, they can avail it. Otherwise, whether it is CBSE or any like a school board, they have to provide it in the way they were providing earlier. Okay. So Apar is not officially mandatory. But then in the schools, how they are being threatened? The school principals or school staff or the school teachers will simply say that if you don't go for Apar ID, then you will not be getting the result, you will not get the proper result, you will not get any certificate. Generally, what will happen that the parents will get confused, they will have this fear that their student, their like candidate will not be getting any facility and they have no other option left. So while this is not mandatory, but like without saying that it is mandatory, in indirect manner, this has been imposed upon the students in most of the schools, especially in Uttar Pradesh. The schools and others, they are threatening the guardians that if you are not going for Apar ID, you will not get the result. So that is one of the challenge which was highlighted in the Hindu newspaper. Okay. Now we have this one part. What are the risks here? Like why there is a challenge? Why people are saying that? Why you are asking for this Apar ID? Okay. Why are you asking for this Apar ID? Okay. People are saying that it contains data of minor students. It contains this data of minor students. Okay. Plus, there is no legal backing. There is no legal backing for collection of this data. There is no law of the parliament. There is no law of the parliament which says that you have to collect the data of minor students. So Apar ID is not a statutory ID. Apar ID is not a statutory ID. There is no legal backing, and still what we see that it is being used to collect the data of the minor students. The first thing, it is infringing upon the fundamental rights. This is infringing fundamental rights. Infringing fundamental rights. If it is being done in a mandatory manner without giving the informed consent, without taking the informed consent, then it is infringing upon the fundamental right of privacy. It's simply that there is a simple concept. If it is optional, you have to tell them it is optional, but do you want to take it? It is optional. If you want, you can opt out, but still, do you want to take it? There may be a privacy risk, and still if you want to take it, then just sign here. That is what we call as informed consent. In our institutions or in our hospitals or other places, how it happens? This is the form, sign it, then you will get treatment or education. So that is the challenge here, that there is no such informed consent. It infringes upon that fundamental rights. So that is one part about this Apar ID. Then what we also see here, there is also this one part, how the data is going to be managed. How the data is going to be managed and stored. Going to be managed, stored or used. There is no such clarification on this, that who and how this data will be used. There is no such clarification on how this data is going to be secured or managed. So that is one of the major challenge. That is one of the major challenge, that there is no such security of this. So now there is a like a apprehension that this data may be misused by certain companies, certain edtech companies, or even the loan companies or banking or financial institutions. They can take the records of the candidates from the Apar ID, and accordingly they can decide the loan rate also. Like they have got the CIBIL score, they decide the interest rate according to CIBIL score. So now the education loans, they might use the Apar ID for checking whether they are eligible for this education loan or not, or how much interest they have to pay. So that is one thing which may be challenging in the future also. Okay. So this is one part. Then there is another part. There is a mismatch. Various cases of mismatch. Various cases of mismatch in the name or details. Now, when the institutions are taking examinations, like suppose when UPSC is taking examinations, when SSC is taking examinations, or any other institution, when they are taking examination, they want each and everything to be 100% accurate. If there is a minor error also, your form may be rejected. But while the same condition, if we look in the reverse manner, so government is providing Apar ID, government is providing Aadhaar ID, and if there is a mistake in that, it again becomes the responsibility of the person, not the government. Government is not taking any responsibility there. It becomes the responsibility of the person to get their name corrected. So first, it is a mistake from the side of the government or its officials that there is a mistake in the name, and that correction of name has to be again done by the student or their guardian, and they have to pay price for that also. The same thing goes for Aadhaar card also. There may be a name mistake, and if you want to get it rectified, again you have to pay the fee for that. That okay, you have done a mistake, I am paying the price for it, you change my name. So same thing applies here also. In various schools and various places, there have been mismatch in the details, in the name, in the age, in the date of birth, and various other things. And the students and their parents are rushing for this, they are running for this, for getting it corrected. So that again comes under the responsibility of the parents or the students. Okay. So this is one of the major challenge with the case of Apar ID. And then at the same time, we have the students of present generation. If you ask them, have you got your correct name on? If there is a, like just for this example, if you ask them that there is a problem in your Apar ID, they may say that, okay, I have changed it on my social media account. Okay. They have different names also for their social media account. Okay. So that is also one of the challenge. Okay. Now, coming to the third topic, coming to the third topic, 500 rupees for correction of what name? Name in the Apar ID or Aadhaar card? Okay, now we have this third topic, UAV and their use in defense. Okay. Now, that is one of the most funny thing, that a father has to change the name because of the children. So father have to get their name changed because of their children. And okay, the school name cannot be changed, so change the name of the father. That's also good. So this is one, like this is one part. If you see, if there is an exam in by any of the institution, whether it is done by UPSC or any other institution, they want you to be entirely correct. But if they are doing the mistake, then again you are the one, you have to pay and you have to get it corrected also. Okay. So that is also one of the challenge with governance in India. Okay. The entire responsibility is on the citizens. Citizens are, that's why we have democracy. A country being run by the citizens. If there is a mistake, that is being rectified by the citizens. Then all the works and everything, that is also done by the citizens. That is another form of democracy. Okay. Now, we have this one part, unmanned air vehicles and their use in defense. Like how we are going to use them in defense and all. So let us see that. Okay. Now, what is the context here? When we are talking about the drones, like it has been said that they are better than the fighter jets. Now, what are the arguments? Let us see that part first. Okay. It is said that they are better than fighter jets. The question is why? First, when we are talking about the drones, even if the drone is getting destroyed, there is no loss of human life. no loss of human life. There is no loss of human life. Then we also see that comparatively less powerful as compared to fighter jets. Comparatively less powerful as compared to fighter jets. So, not seen as a big challenge. Not seen as a big challenge. Okay. Just to give you an example, like suppose that if a country, let us say US is having this MQ-9B Reaper drones. So MQ-9B Reaper drones was flying over the Black Sea. It was destroyed by the Sukhoi fighter jets of Russia. It was destroyed by Sukhoi fighter jets of Russia. US said no problem. Why? It is only a financial loss. There is no loss of any citizen. There was no retaliation. Okay. So what we see that not seen as a big challenge, lesser chances of retaliation. Lesser chances of retaliation. Lesser chances of retaliation. Recently, there was a drone of Pakistan which entered into India. Indian fighter jets destroyed that drone. It destroyed that drone, and there was no response by Pakistan. Pakistan simply said it was not our drone. Okay. Pakistan simply said it was not our drone. It may have come from somewhere else. Okay. So for drones, there is no such challenge. Why? There is only some financial loss. It is not very much costly also. There is only some financial loss only. So there is lesser chances of retaliation. Lesser chances of retaliation. Plus, what we see that they are mainly being used for surveillance. Mainly used for surveillance. Or small scale operation. Small scale operation. Okay. So even if you are using the jets for surveillance, like earlier jet was used for reconnaissance or surveillance, now the same thing can be done by drones also. Now if you are using the fighter jets for surveillance, the other countries may see it as a big danger, because fighter jets can destroy serious targets, or like they can destroy in like a large number, okay, in very high scale. But drones will not be doing that high scale damage. Even if they are being used for surveillance of a particular area, they will not be used for high scale damage. They are generally used for low scale surveillance or low scale weapons. Okay. So that is why they are not considered as a major threat. Okay. Then we have also seen that there is one more part, cheaper also. They are also considered as cheaper. So what we see that UAVs, they are being like added by most of the militaries of the world, including India. India has also purchased this MQ-9B Reaper. MQ-9B Reaper from this US. We have got hail drone, mail drone also. We have got drones from Israel also. We have got drones from US also. And we are also purchasing other drones from other countries. Okay. So we are also integrating drones in our armed forces also, Navy also, Air Force also. And across the other nations also, whether we are talking about US, Russia, France, China or other countries, they are also using drones. Okay. So why they are using drones? Due to all these reasons. But there is a risk. There is a risk here. Okay. If you look at this, there is a risk here. What is that risk? Sorry. What is the risk here? Number one challenge is Like this will encourage risk taking behavior. Okay, it will encourage risk taking behavior. Now suppose that recently there was this one incident where some of the drones of China were flying over Japan. So there was no such major change, although Japan said that we will prepare for this, but there was no such hasty decisions. There was no such like large scale change in anything. Why? It is not being seen as an imminent danger. It is not being seen as an imminent danger. But then again, what may happen that, like suppose if we are taking about Pakistan. So if Pakistan sees that we are flying drones over India and India is not taking any retaliatory steps. So what they will do? They will increase the number of such drone activities towards India. They think that, okay, India is not going to respond so much harshly. And even if they do, what they will do? They will shoot our drones. We will say that, no, it was not ours. As simple as that, we will say it was not ours. Because there is no person sitting there. There is no one sitting there. So they can easily say that even if their people were coming to India, they say that, no, they are not our people. And now they are sending only drones. So they will never accept that this is our drones. They will simply say, we don't have anything to eat. How we will send the drones? Okay. So that is one thing. This will encourage risk-taking behavior and may become a reason for strong retaliation. Strong retaliation. So this is one of the challenge. There is another aspect of it. There is another aspect of this. This UAV, this is also a potential for misuse. There is also this potential for misuse. Why this potential for misuse? Okay. See, the thing is, it is cheaper. It is cheaper. Plus, no human life involved. No human life involved. So due to all this, it can also be used by the non-state actors. The non-state actors, like the terrorists, they can use it for drug or weapon delivery. So right now also what we see that across our border, we see that Pakistan based non-state actors, like the terrorist organization based in Pakistan, they are using the drones for the smuggling of drugs or weapons across the border. Okay. So that is one of the things that it can be used for smuggling arms or drugs across the borders and can be easily accessed by this like non-state actors also. Okay. Now, what is the challenge for India? The challenge for India. What is the challenge for India right now? Okay. One thing is, our neighboring countries are very much friendly towards us. Like we have Pakistan, we have not Bangladesh right now. We have Pakistan, we have China. Okay. So we see that Pakistan, China, Bangladesh, they have all got drones. All have got drones. Nowadays, even in the Myanmar region, there are various non-state actors, rebel groups. They have also got drones and everything. So now they can also be using the same drones for sending some like arms or drugs across the border. So that is one of the challenge, our friendly neighbors. The second challenge is we don't have any such explicit policy. Okay. No explicit policy for dealing with drone related warfare. This is also one challenge that we have to evolve. We are still to evolve a drone related warfare strategy for India. So that is also one of the challenge. That is also one of the challenge that first our neighbors, they have got the drones. Second, we also have got the drones, but we don't have a drone strategy. If drones are being used across the border, how we are going to retaliate it? Are we going to retaliate with our fighter jets, or in what manner we are going to use that? So that remains one of the challenge for us. Okay. So it is being said that India needs to evolve a drone policy for this. We have to develop this drone policy for this. We have this one policy which regulates the flying of drones within India. But we have to also make this much more comprehensive. That is mostly with civil drones. But we also have to make some policies with respect to drones crossing the borders. So that is one thing which has been advocated in this article, that we need a drone policy. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Now, one last topic. Now, before we go into that, just let me tell you one thing. While USA was flying this MQ-9B Reaper, and it's very much interesting, like US was trying to sell the MQ-9B Reaper to many of the countries of the world, including India. Okay. And it was said that it is one of the most advanced like drones in the world. Okay. MQ-9B Reaper. It is also called as Predator, Seahawk, the Sky Guardian, Sea Guardian. There were so many names which was given to this drone. And then when it was flying over the Black Sea, the Sukhoi of Russia chased back that drone, and then it drowned it in the Black Sea region. Okay. There were other things which were also done, but I cannot say it here. Okay. So that drone was simply drowned in the Black Sea region. It was drowned in the Black Sea region, and some of the some of those pilots who were involved in this, they were given some rewards also by Russia. And after that, the sale of the Predator, or the demand of this Predator drone, has come down also. Okay. So while on one hand there was promotion of drones by US, and especially the SpaceX company led by Elon Musk, he was also one of the key promoter of drones. Now after this like counter attack by Russia, now all of a sudden the demand of drones have come down, especially MQ-9B Reaper. Okay. So that is one thing. Now there is one more aspect. There is one topic, Squad. One last topic is Squad. So this is one thing where India has been invited, and India has been invited by Philippines. Okay. So Philippines has invited India and even South Korea to join the Squad. What is the Squad? It is basically the world's biggest navy. Sorry, it is the grouping of, informal grouping of 4 countries. Right now they are having Australia, Japan, US, and Philippines. And we have this Philippines. So these are the part of an informal group. This is not a formal group, it is an informal group which is called as the Squad. So they are having navy exercises. They are conducting navy exercise in this South China Sea. So they have invited India also to join this Squad. Okay. You may have heard about this. South China Sea is one of the most controversial region. There is not dispute between one country. almost all the countries who are there, they have one common dispute, and that is with China. Okay. So what is the dispute? If you look at this, see, these blue lines which you can see here, let me draw this with blue color. These blue lines, these are the demarcations. This blue line is the demarcation under the UN Convention on Law of Seas. It is as part of UN clause. Okay. So China is supposed to have this area. This is the area of China. This is the area of China. Okay. But when we talk about China, China says that no, this is not our area. Our area starts from here. This entire area is being claimed by China. They say that this entire South China Sea belongs to China. And now there are so many islands here. There is one thing called as Paracel Island. There is a Spratleys Island. There are Scarborough Shoal. This is the country Philippines. And there is also this Natuna Island here. Here we have this Natuna Island. Okay. So that is being claimed by Indonesia and China. Okay. So almost all the countries which are there sharing the border with South China Sea, they all have a dispute with China. Why? China says entire South China Sea is its own property, is its own maritime domain. While the United Nations Convention on Law of Sea says that no, it's not true. Your region is limited to this region. You have only 200 nautical miles as your exclusive economic zone. After that, it is not your zone. But China says we do not follow UN clause. There was a judgment on this UN clause in 2016, which said that China will have to cede its claim over this line. But China said that we do not obey the UN clause, we do not obey the ICJ. So finally, China didn't do anything. It is still having this part, and there are different lines. It is called as 9-dash line. 9-dash line. So China claims the entire South China Sea. If you leave China, they will claim the entire Earth and Mars along with it. Okay. So that is one part about China. They can claim anything. They can claim anything from South China Sea to Mars and beyond. Okay. So that's why a squad, in the case of a squad, there is a formal invitation to India that India should also become part of this naval exercise. Of course, it is there to build a pressure on China, but then India has not commented anything on this as of now, as of today. Okay. So that is one such group. Okay. I hope it is clear. Okay. So that will be all for today. That will be all for today. These 4 topics we have seen. One is related to South China Sea and Squad. Before that, we have seen about the drones and their applications. Prior to that, we have seen about the Apar ID. There are so many memes which are also being circulated on, especially by the teachers, those who are also teaching there in the government schools. They are also preparing the midday meals. They are also purchasing things for it. They are doing the election duty. Now they are doing the Apar ID card. Okay. So our congratulations, only congratulations to them for becoming the part of the education system and all other related things. Okay. So that is being done by them. And then before that, we have seen this El Niño and La Niña. Okay. So these were the 4 topics which we have discussed today. I have, yes, a special leave petition. There is this one question, a special leave petition. See, this is the last route. Suppose that you have no option under the writ jurisdiction. Let us say that there is a case in which fundamental right is not being directly violated. There is a case in which appeal cannot be made to the Supreme Court. Okay. There is any case in which there is no such provision where you can reach the Supreme Court under any jurisdiction. In that situation, there is one special option, special leave petition. This gives this opportunity to file any type of case. The case may be related to that person, or case may also be related to community at large. That case can be filed in Supreme Court using this method of a special leave petition. Now suppose that there is a violation of your own fundamental right. So then you can go directly under the writ jurisdiction. But now suppose that someday you think that there is too much of pollution in Delhi and the people of Delhi are suffering because of it. Now you are living in Kerala, but you are thinking that no, my Delhi friends are suffocating due to the pollution. So if you want to file a PIL for that, then you have the option to go through the special leave petition. So that is the option under the special leave petition. Any type of case can be entertained by the Supreme Court under this special leave petition. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear, Ashutosh. Okay, so that was the one question for you. I have given one question also in the beginning of the session, that why monsoon is a unifying factor in India. Why monsoon is considered as a unifying factor in India? So this is the one question you have to answer that. High Court can also generally High Court does not accept the special leave petition. It is being done by Supreme Court. High Court generally have more like jurisdiction as compared to Supreme Court. High Court has also jurisdiction in legal matters. So for High Court, a special leave petition is not required. Supreme Court has a limited jurisdiction as compared to High Court. So for expanding that part, they have got the SLP. Okay. So that will be all for today. Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you.